Hi guys, welcome to my weekly vlog documenting my journey of learning to day trade. Hot week on the market, green week for me, traded a lot of different setups, so I'm going to break down the charts. Not everything worked, but we're going to go through that, so let's go. So the first ticker we'll look at, which I traded, was JZ, and this is the daily chart, and I'm trading it on its big day one move here. Don't normally trade day ones, but I am adapting to what is working at the market, and my read is getting better. So the reason that I traded this ticker was it was a Chinese sympathy play to, I think it was HKIT, which had on the same day a massive spike pre-market where it was up over 500%. Had a nice big dump there, and then on market open went back up to almost pre-market highs. So wasn't really looking at it this early on, but during market open I saw JZ and was kind of looking at it thinking, why is this moving? And can see that it had the spike pre-market after HKIT had its spike. They're both Chinese tickers that come from a similar price range. I think HKIT had come from one something, let's just check, 140s, and JZ had come from around the 70 cent mark, so similar price range there. It's following in sympathy with the pre-market move here, and then also looking at the key level of where the price is. So on market open, can see it's hovering around that dollar mark, which is this white line here. So really nice area to trade, can often be a bit choppy. Did take an entry at 104 or just under 104, and then got stopped out, not unusual, and then took a re-entry when it reclaimed the dollar area, and then I did get in at exactly 104 there. And then just, I think it might have even been halting upwards. I think it was, yeah, and looking at the price action. So my best sell was 194. Ended up taking a 44% gain on this. Really nice trade for me. And I think I just cut on the halt down, and then obviously missed out on the recovery later on, where it went to highs of 340s, which is often the way with me with sympathy players. I'll probably always do sell out too soon, but can't really argue with a 44% gain there. So that was JZ sympathy trade, and then I'm going to look at XOS, which I also traded. Just because there's quite a few tickers to cover, I'm not going to go into minute detail on them. So this was a day one play again that I traded. So JZ was a sympathy move. This is just a day one move on its own. So this is the daily chart over here, and it's gone from around 220s up to highs of 828 on its day one. So the reason I'm looking at this ticker is because the price range that it's come from $2, and there's often this pattern that Roland Wolf teaches where a stock can go from $2 to $5 to $7, come back down to the 550 area, and then rip to 10. It's just a pattern that he's studied over the years. So I don't often play them, but there's been quite a few of them in motion at the moment, so that's why I was looking at it. I think actually on the same day there was SDOT, which did exactly that pretty much. It went from the 328, so almost in the 2 area, and on its day one it went up to the 5s, up to the 7s, back down to the 550s, and then almost up to 10, went up to like the 950 area. So this was literally just sort of moments before, well, moving at the same time as XOS really, so that's why it was on my radar. So let's go to the intraday chart. Had an after hours push, pre-market move, and then pulled back on market open on its day one. So I knew I wanted to trade this, so it had already gone up to the 860s. I wanted to pull back to the sort of 550 area, So I initially took it on this double bottom, which double bottomed off 561 just after market opened, about half an hour into market open. Nice little double bottom. I got in, actually can't remember where I got in then. It was a good entry, and I just let it play out, and didn't actually sell any along the way. Maybe I should have taken some off. Just got stopped out when it failed. But I still wanted to keep eyes on it, because the real area of interest, which was perfect, was this after hours. Let me just remove this green line. This after hours area of resistance, these 2 points here. Just zoom in here and here, which is also the 550 area. So it's 540s there. So if it came down to that, that could be potentially a really nice area. But I'd gone out to the shop after this failed. I thought I just need to pop to the shop. And as I was driving back, I saw that this had double bottomed right off this key level, and I was like, oh my God, I've missed it. So I was literally just like rushing home because I knew I wanted to get an entry. Shouldn't have gone to the shop really, but there we go. And then I had to chase it a bit, so I had to take a smaller size on it because it was, you know, further away from my risk. Ideally I would have been getting in literally down here, but had to enter at 575, I think it was. So yeah, I had to take smaller size unfortunately, but that would have been a beaut trade. But still, you know, had a nice grind up and then had this move upwards. So I was just selling along the way, held some into after hours, sold some into after hours because I thought this could continue its move tomorrow. I was pretty much all out by here. My best sell was 838. And then if we just go into the next day, I don't normally like to swing stocks, but you know, it wasn't particularly large size that I had left on this. So yeah, I ended up just cutting, I think, pre-market somewhere around here, I think. So ended up taking a 28% gain on this ticker. It didn't actually do the move where it went up to 10, so its highest was 870, but it still had that same pattern in theme where it went to the 2, to the 5s, to the 7s, back down to the 550s, and then had that move upwards to at least 850s. So still a pretty nice chunk of the move there. And what I really do like about this trade is kind of hitting the key level, doing a double bottom off it. You've got structure formed, you've got confirmation with that double bottom. It's like a really nice, safe entry where you've not got to like guess too much. It's kind of the levels are holding. So I really like that. So let's move on to the next one, which was SELX. So this was now a third day surge setup. Didn't love it, but kind of the structure was there. This is the daily chart. You can see it has had a run here in April, and then I'm trading it on this day here, so it's just had another run, and it only closed up about 60%, so it's not particularly strong on my list. And what was I just like the drop off in volume. So it did 181 mil in volume on day one, dropped down to 4.8 on day two, and then coupled with the structure that it had. So this is its day one, and then just a nice consolidation across day two, holding this kind of area of support. So didn't really like the way the candle actually looked in terms of like, didn't look very liquid, especially on this day, but I did take an entry, a couple of entries here, got stopped out on market open. I think I had an entry just pre-market around this level, got stopped out, re-entered, got stopped out again. Started to doubt myself, like, don't know if this is just a bit of a weird, wacky ticker. Took a final entry at 0.39. My stop is just the previous day's low of day. And then kind of just came back down to that like 3 times, just touched it perfectly. My stop was literally 0.3798, I think it was. So very nearly got stopped out, and then kind of did this move upwards, but again, not very liquid. You're just a bit of a weird third day surge in my opinion. So best, I thought, it could go to the 50s, being that $half mark. My best sell was 57 something, and I took a 22% gain on that. And then obviously there's horrible action here. I don't think this is a particularly nice way that this actually played out, but did manage to take a nice profit on it anyway. And then another ticker I traded was BJDX. So actually traded it on this day 3. This is the daily chart over here. Day 1 move, nice little day 2 grind up, and then this day 3 bounce, or I wouldn't really call this a third day surge setup, because I think the retracement's a little bit too much for me, and I don't know, the chart is, I would kind of like this day to be green. It's kind of a third day surge, but I'd just say it's like a day 3 move. But there is a really nice drop off in volume as well. So I am going on to the intraday chart, 1 minute time frame. So this is its day 1, and nice pullback on its day 1, and then it holds that level the next day pre-market perfectly. It holds the day 1 low. So the fact that day 2 plays are in play at the moment, this would have been a really nice trade to take, but I wasn't actually looking at this for a day 2 move, even though it had this really nice grind upwards from its day 1 low of day. But what I am looking at is trading it on the day 3. And the reason why I'm looking at it is because, this here was a key level and it's held that. So it's saying that, this wants to hold the levels and potentially continue upwards. It's looking quite strong to me. And the fact here is that it's very close to the red-green area, which is the day 2 close. So on the daily chart, that's here. And it's kind of chopping around there. And I think I did take an entry pre-market actually, and then I got stopped out 554. I took an entry here. Let me just zoom in a bit. Yeah, so I took an entry 554, and then I cut because it broke my risk, even though I thought, this is going to chop around, but your risk is your risk. And you can always re-enter, which I did do. Had to take it a little bit higher this time. Got in at 564. And then, it's now holding above red-green, which is what you want to see. And then went on to have this nice move upwards. So my best sell was 589. And that was for just an 18% gain on this one, but still a nice move. I think real edge was here, but the fact is that these stocks are all moving on day 2, day 3s, so that's why I'm looking at trading them on this day, or next time I should be looking really here as well. But yeah, that's what's in play at the moment, otherwise it probably wouldn't be on my radar. So the final trade that we'll look at is a first green day bounce setup, which didn't actually work out, but I really liked the setup. PHQE was the ticker. This is the daily chart. And it's had a multi-day run. So here, day 1, it's done 225 million volume. And day 2, day 3, big day 4. And then it's like consolidated here, and then it had another little spike here. And then it's gone into this retracement phase where I'm looking to see if and where it can bounce from. So if we go on to the intraday chart on the 15-minute time frame, so this is its run up here. Oh, I came back down, did another little spike, and then this is the retracement phase. And I thought, well, it is in a sort of downtrend here on the 15-minute time frame, got multiple touch points, 1, almost 2, 3, 4. And so I'm looking for it to break out of trend and come down to key levels as well. So you can see I'm trading it on this day here. It's broken out of the 15-minute downtrend after hours and pre-market here. So if I also go on to the 5-minute time frame, just to see, it's come down to this level, which is also an area of resistance here on after hours and here on pre-market. And it's where it broke out before its big move upwards. So for me, that ticked a lot of boxes, being resistance, and then breaks out of that and has a big move. So the fact that it's coming down to there, breaking downtrend, that looked like a good setup to me. I just go on to the 1-minute time frame. So I'm actually taking this pre-market, I can't remember the exact price, 0.83 something. And then I'm waiting for market open. As you can see, I just get stopped out. And I do watch it for a little bit just to see if it reclaims. I really like this setup. I really thought it was going to go. Obviously it didn't do that, but it does kind of come down. Just go on to the 15-minute time frame. Breaks trend line, reclaims it, tests it, and then it goes on to have a bounce of around over 30%. I think it was about a 33% bounce from here. So it did kind of do it, but you know, I wouldn't have traded it anywhere down here, and it's very liquid. It's not a particularly nice bounce. So yeah, just got stopped out on that one, but that's fine. You'd set my risk, and I was happy to take that loss. And just a good example of you know, the setups that you think will work don't always work, but yeah, that's why you have risk in place. So really nice week's trading, a nice variety of charts to show, I hope. I felt like I learned a lot this week as well, because the market was so hot and lots of things to look at. So taking a lot of confidence in being able to adapt and trade whatever setup is in play, which currently is the day 2 and day 3s. The market is hot at the moment, opportunities are presenting themselves and key levels are holding. In the past, I've not been very confident with trading anything other than a first green day bounce or a third day surge setup, even though I've always dabbled on other setups here and there on small size. I think the experience of getting to see a fader market to now a hotter market and seeing that multi-day setups are working, it feels like a significant part of my journey in being able to see the market shift and trying to move with that. So we'll see how it works out next week. I'm just conscious that the market could shift again. It could shift at any point. So just trying to be conscious and stay in the flow of the market and what's working. So cheers for watching, and catch you next Sunday.